Hello, everyone. My name is Hassan Ali, and I'm joined by Rupesh Atmuri. And behind the camera this time is Sharan Kumar. In this episode, we'll be reviewing Nepal's campaign of the group stage in the ICC World Men T20 2026. Nepal's campaign was chaotic, emotional, and never linear. One minute they were 171 for 5, with Lokesh Baum launching one into orbit and belief surging against India. The next minute they're staring at heartbreak. Two crushing defeats, momentum punctured, and honestly, the loudest crowd in the tournament goes suddenly silent. And then there is a final twist. The last match against Scotland that felt anything but like dead rubber. It was Nepal's first T20 World Cup win in 12 years, and it was the first win in a main draw. The cardiac kids have finally arrived at the stage.
Okay, Hassan. So, as you said, Nepal did not have a linear performance in this tournament, but the way they have started off the match against England was definitely a hit in the tournament.
Yeah.
So, in that match, especially, they have contained good batting. They have shown their boundary hitting ability, and till the last moment, they had good chase management in that match. So, let's start off with the batting. We have multiple players: Lokesh Bam, Arif Sheikh, Asif Sheikh, and then Deependra, and then Padwell. So, who do you think is standing out amongst the batters in this team?
I think easily Dipendra Singh Eri, the Nepali fans call him the Tiger. He had by far the most standout tournament for the Nepali team. 169 runs, 56.33 average, strike rate of 144.44, 250s, 13 fours, 7 sixes. That shows you that 94 of 169 runs that he scored came in boundaries. So he has a pretty good divide, of almost an equal divide between boundaries and single staking. And when you incorporate the 144 strike rate, you realize that he barely plays any dot balls, which shows you that he has the temperament for the T20 game. The next highest scorer for Nepal was their captain Rohit Paudel, but he only had 83 runs, which is less than half of Dipender Singh Eri. And this is a trend we have seen in the associate nations. They seem to rely primarily on one or two batsmen to get them over the line.
Yes, I would also like to add Deependra Singh Eri got picked up by Islamabad United in the PSL for 60 lakhs, and he's also the second player from Nepal to play in the PSL.
Who was the first?
Lam Chennai.
Okay.
So let's move on to bowling now. Despite their decent performance in the match against England, they were not really successful in having a lot of wickets in the match against Italy as well as West Indies. So, what do you think about their bowling?
So their bowling is probably their weakest spot. Every time that the Nepali team bowled second, where they were defending a total, West Indies and Italy played 15 and 12 overs respectively, which really goes to show that there is an issue. Even on the death bowling side, when they're bowling first, um, against England, they conceded 45 runs in the last 3 overs with Will Jacks going crazy. So it's quite obvious that their bowling overall needs work, but NK Yadav was their best bowler with 5 wickets, average of 19, economy of 8.63, a strike rate of 12. He was their primary wicket taking option. He's a decent medium pacer, uh, taking being a partnership breaker. Sandeep Lamichhane did not have a good World Cup. He was uncharacteristically himself in two out of the 4 games. He almost went at 10 or 10 plus and over, which is unlike him when the Nepali team is depending on him. I would also like to mention Sompal Kami, the Kami Express. I was really impressed with his variations. He has the front of the hand slower ball, he has a knuckle ball, he has the back of the hand, and it's really, really nice to see Associate Nation players coming through with such high skill sets, and that two skill sets that fit well with T20 cricket.
Right. I agree. Sompal is definitely a player to watch in the bowling lineup. As we were speaking before the episode, that Nepal has one of the best runners in on the ground. So, what do you think about their fielding?
So their fielding was excellent throughout the tournament. Stuart Law described them as some of the fastest players he has come across in the world. And when he says fast, it doesn't mean pace. He's talking about their running between the wickets, their electric attitude around the field. I think they're one of the better associate nations, and they are on record for saying that we are aiming to become the best fielding associate side. And it goes on to show their best fielding contributors were Khadka, Lamichane, Airy, Sompal Kami, all taking 3 catches each. You compare and contrast that with the Dutch team, for example, who had Rolf van der Merwe taking 6 catches and then the rest of the team taking two or one. Here it's more scattered to see that it's not as much of an issue.
Who's the player to watch for the future of Nepal?
Dipinder Singh Gill. We've already talked about it. 56.33 average in this World Cup, 144 strike rate. We'll also get to see him in the PSL where he will get to show what he's really capable of. Sky is the limit for the guy.
Looking forward.
For sure. Very exciting talent. And it's nice to see someone other than Nami Chane
Right.
come up, right?
Exactly.
And become prominent.
True. Who's your X factor in their squad?
X Factor, I think, has to be Lokesh Baum. He has the potential to be the finisher. We saw what he did against England. Massive hits, just treating Jofra Archer like he's a schoolboy bowler in the park. Incredible. It represents Nepal's fearless streak, and I think he also embodies Nepal's volatility. We saw that, he almost got Nepal over the line and then he couldn't. And I think Lokesh Baum's innings, that instance of that game against England, sums up Nepal's challenges right now, right? They're almost there, but they're not quite there.
Now that we have looked into all 3 departments, would you say bowling is the area of concern for them?
Yes, that is what I believe is the main challenge for Nepal. But during the tournament, Stuart Law, their head coach, made a few interesting comments. First and foremost, he spoke about the inability to maintain emotional standards across matches. We saw that with the Nepali fans as well. They're very passionate, they're very emotional, 1 minute up, the next minute down. But he wants his team to exude more stability. He says you can't have a high like England where you almost beat them and then get thrashed by 10 wickets against Italy, who are on paper a weaker side than you. Right. And another thing that he mentioned was that the Nepali players need to stay away from social media. He said there's too much social media noise. There is a growing national hype, and social media is so important to Nepali culture, and Stuart Law acknowledged that. But he said that these players need insulation from these expectations, from these messages and love as well as hatred that they receive. It starts dictating their players' attitude and temperament towards the game. And that Stuart Law, who has played at the top of the game, has warned the Nepali players of avoiding. And once he made that statement, Nepal came out and beat Scotland. And
So the Nepali Premier League is coming through very good, and there's been a lot of talk on that, and it would be definitely one of the tournaments to watch out in the next 2 3 years.
yeah, I think it's going to produce more superstars for the Nepali team that they can grow on and they can develop their game further. There's already been a lot of good reviews about it. And on that rather optimistic note, we'd like to bring this episode to an end on Nepal. We'd like to thank you for watching. My name is Hassan Ali. I was joined by Rupesh Atmuri, and behind the camera today was Sharon Kumar. We'll speak to you some other time and some other day. Take care and bye bye. Let us know your comments in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe, and as I said, thank you so much. Bye bye.